Howdy dorks. Hello, hello. Welcome in. It's Monday. It's Unchowder. It's Dwarfs. It's Kobolds. It's Kobold time. How are you? Hello, Ryan. Hello, Jam. Hello, world. And all implies. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. I'm going to try to put my brain in the Dwarf Fortress box. That might be a bit of a struggle today. But, you know, I'm glad to be here. This is where I want to be. I am exhausted and achy and kind of grumpy, but this is where I want to be. Hello, world. Hello, world. Hi. We are making progress on our sauna, right? That's going to be what we continue to work on. I think we have it mostly figured out, but like, I don't know. It's been a whole thing, hasn't it? Whatever it ends up becoming, it will become that shortly. That is my commitment. So we're just going to keep plugging away at it. Hello, Lord Duchess of Dorfin Around. Yes, I'll take that. World is the stream. I agree. Today's episode is brought to you by my last brain cell. Oh, there it goes. And my viewers like you, clicking on all the buttons down there, hanging out with us live, hanging out in VODs, hanging out in Discord, wherever you want to hang out. There's brain cells bumping together, singular, and hopefully that's a good thing. And checking out customers. Oh, that's a thing too. Hello, customers. But how can we sauna with no brain cells? Do you need brain cells to sauna? Oops, sorry. The best part about sauna is no brain cells. I thought. Head empty, just steam. Was wondering where they're going. They're all down there. To design the sauna, we might, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I like how sauna turns into Diana. That's funny. Oh yeah, there's corpses. Oh yeah, we got sieged, didn't we? And we lost a couple more kobolds, if I'm remembering correctly. We did lose a couple more of our siege engineers. So we should also see if we can brainstorm about that. I'm gonna go ahead and unpause. We're working on cleaning up the corpses from here at the moment. I'm gonna let them do that first, because this is the stuff that rots and turns into gross miasma, right? Time to reforge goblin armor. There is so much. We are never getting through all of the things that we've gotten from goblins. There's a bunch of copper bolts. This shouldn't be taking bolts. I guess you're taking everything, but then you should be dumping downstairs, and then this should be rejecting the bolts. Or maybe just giving the bolts elsewhere. Anyway, we're working on melting. We've been working on melting for quite a while. This is all of our goblin loot right here. It's a lot. Is it all still melt? Do we still have stuff marked for melting? Wow, did we actually melt all the things that we marked? That's incredible. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna keep working on melting. This is all just iron and copper, right? This can all melt. Or rather, I can do a mass melt. Let's just start with that one bin's worth. Keep them busy. Playing Empire Total War as Iroquois, and I've had many years of peace with the British Empire on the East Coast, but they just took all the Cherokee land, so it's time. I'm nervous, must drive them back. Yeah, kick them out. Can't trust them. Realize I don't need modern games. Apparently old games are still fun. It's true. At least don't have to worry about that. True. There are so many old games. Like if no other video games ever got made, we would still have enough video games to play for the rest of our lives, right? That seems pretty clear. Yeah, so many copper bolts everywhere. Okay. We had a strange mood. Oh, I figured out this thing. I figured out how to turn this back on. We did end up with 2 injured citizens. I also realized that there was a thing that we can put on that lists the the wild animals that we have on the map at any one time. So now we don't have to do like manual wildlife checks. We can just look down. We have 1 magma crab, 4 pond grabbers, and 5 albatrosses. It just says right there. We have Cac, the stone crafter is here. You are a legendary siege operator, so you probably got hit while doing siege stuff. Rearmo here is a melee bold, and got hit pretty hard, but now you're already up and walking around, so that's cool. We lost the leader of our squad. Oh, we lost Kuro. I forgot about that. The king's nephew fell in the siege. So now we need to pick someone else to lead the squad. It's gonna get messy. I think the American Independence War might trigger just from the chaos of it all, so we'll have like 4 groups of people running around. Well, I mean, that's historically accurate, right? Make the entirety goblin iron-made siege weapon. Just 1 gigantic lump of iron. Let's make a pyramid of things we've gotten from the goblins. That's a thing we could do. Also kind of obvious in retrospect, but the British supplied most of the weapons to the Indian Native Alliance that ended in Tecumseh? I don't know if I know that name. In Tecumseh's defeat. Yep. Make a nice dome cap. True. True. Okay, so let's see. Who can we toss into this squad here? We have a competent fighter. I guess, do we have any... Well, I guess I want to look at melee potential, right? I want to look at how good they are right now. I want to look at how good they can be. So we have Suis here, who could reach a 70. I think I'm just going to toss you in. And you're going to deal with it. I'm even going to leave you be the leader. The leader of this squad is going to be completely unprepared. And that's fine. That's just how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. So, we're working downstairs. Look at all these cave spider webs. The kobolds are here. Oh, and we need to check this, strange mood, right? We have... This is our object screen. Quite large at this point. Exit Omens is a Heliodor chain worth 12,000. Cool. That's gonna go on a pedestal up here. Or actually... Right, I want to move some of our divine weapons up there. So what's this? This is Autumn Sigan is a frosty metal mace. I'm going to put that up here. I think I do want to remake that breastplate. What was it? Heliodor? Dagla. Or no, this isn't what I want. I want the other thing. I want the frosty metal mace to go there. And then I'm going to replace it with the chain. The game doesn't have arms trade, but I suspect I've bought a lot of guns from them over the years. I took Quebec and Louisiana first, so they loved me for that, but it's always a matter of time. It's true. Those imperialists, just give them time. We also have, we have this, right? We have a wavy blistered metal blowgun. And this is our frilly multicolored metal turban that we also have. And there's also this bow. I think the bow might be the more relevant thing. Weighs less than 1. How much does this one weigh? Blowgun? Also less than 1. But I don't know who would use a blowgun. I think I'm going to move this faceted metal bow up to the top here. And then we'll just have room for another generic artifact. Faceted metal bow. Perfect. So that's all good. Working on dyeing cloth. We are making cloth. We are weaving cloth. We have visitors. We have our merchants. We're done with our igloo, right? We're done with our vault flags. I don't think I need to import any more gems at this point. I think I'm gonna call that complete. I'm just gonna do the one bin. You lot will know more about American history than me, though. I never took those modules at school. I mean, you assume they teach American history in America. Well, of course, I'm becoming no better than them, really. Fair. Be an interesting game. Arms dealer in major conflicts. I think that's a thing. I don't know if it's specifically like grand strategy style. But there's what's it called? Black market organ trader? Something? Something? Not quite the same. How do I get my... Just casually pull up Steam here. Just search Steam for war crimes. I'm gonna search for black market, because I remember that being in the name. What was it? Oh, there was totally an interesting game about trading organs in space. Yes, the war crimes category. Yeah. I mean, let's look. War crimes. I came up with one thing. Teenage Demon Slayer Society. That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna do 2 words. But that might be searching for war and crime? How do I even tell? Oh, it gave me 250 that time. Star Wars Outlaws. LA Noire. Bunch of things I haven't heard of. Bunch of things I haven't heard of. Rimworld, yeah, there you go. Stardew? Is Pierre dealing in things that we aren't aware of? Look, all of this got dealt with. Still some ammo bins in here. And some corpses. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the garbage door. Geneva Convention violation. Geneva Convention Simulator 2000. Can we get like some sort of simulator story game where we are the Hague? Would that be interesting? Like Papers, Please, but you're tasked with administering the Geneva Convention and international police and things like that. That'd be fun. Totally a nice escapist game and not too real about anything. I'm glancing through their gems. And I don't think I care. They brought some more wood opals, but I don't care about wood opals now. Do I care about any of this? They brought all the cheap meat. So I did notice we actually got a patch. We got a patch last week and I totally missed it. I'm gonna do leaves and fruit. That's at least worth something. Rest of this, I don't think I care. Codices. The Great Anesthesia. The Great Burn Post. I don't think we have that one. The Secret of the Method. Secret Completion. Oh dear. The Interpretation of the Solution. Some of these seem... I don't know that I recognize all these names. The Mysteries of Animal Societies. Elements of Justification. An Introduction to the Common... D. Something. Something begins with D. The True Art. Oh, clearly we need the True Art. The Interpretation of the Solution. So clearly someone invented solutions. Oh, that's the same one twice. Okay. I'm gonna grab the cheaper of those. Reasoning. A new approach. Maybe try reasoning. Can I just... I'm just gonna import as many books as I can. I'm gonna call that good. Actually, I could probably get away with the one more. Mysteries of Animal Societies. Perfect. Thank you, kobolds, for all the books. Okay, door is open. I'm going to unforbid all this garbage. Holy cow, the garbage. And we'll let them work on sorting that out. There's some stuff hiding around here. I do occasionally see just stuff on the edge there. Hello, Space Pants. Welcome in. We have a goblin pile. Is there stuff on the roof? There's some teeth on the roof. As you do. I think that's about it. There's some bones over here. No one died over here. Oh no, I'm still like... I remember to take down one level of this stair like every stream. I bet there's a Nuremberg Trials game. Oh, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. Plus the details of selling death and more, the arms race of better guns in sword and armors. Yeah. Yeah, like a game where you're not like... I feel like I've seen someone play... Oh, what was it? I watch a fair bit of the Spiffing Brit. Because he does fun things with video games. But there was a game he was playing not too long ago that was like a... It was like a Crusader King style large scale strategy game, but you don't play as like you don't play as a nation or anything. He was playing as like a trader. So he didn't control any land, but he ended up like controlling all of the commerce in a very large region. So had a lot of like soft power, if that makes sense. I can't remember what the game was though. Like maybe Europa Universalis something? I haven't played that one. Is that what is that, am I thinking of the right thing? I don't know. There was a game where he was just like literally selling weapons back and forth. Two people who were fighting with each other. Two people who were fighting each other and then like instigating wars and selling weapons to them. But the game wasn't designed to do that. It was just like him doing his thing, right? I'm probably misremembering it too. To subject my followers to some RimWorld theme streams. Someday I'll play RimWorld. Oh, I'm gonna close this before I forget, right? Do I need back in here? Okay, so we're coming back down here. Coming back down to all of this. We were working on connecting our floodgates. So I have 4 buttons, right? These are not... My buttons aren't linked to anything, so that's clearly what we're doing next. Oh, but I had to do something up there, didn't I? We have our floodgates, so that's linked to water release, that's linked to magma release, water release, magma release, water release, magma release, water release, magma release. So all of our floodgates are linked. The buttons are not. The buttons are going to be linked to all of these. But I need to, that's right, we're working on this. I need to flip the state of all of these mechanisms. So I have this linked, but these 4 still need it. So that's what we're working on right now. I need to link 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just need to flip that and then delink it and then all the other things. I was working on connecting these. These are for this. These are the safeties, right? So I want to pull these as well. I don't want these on right now. Spa magma safety, spa water safety, or not link. I want to pull. So then we can connect everything up without accidentally turning things on, which we have already done once. I'm going to put this wall here before I forget about it. And then I think that's what's going on right now. Parents are out of town for the next 2 weeks and I'm off all evenings next week. Excellent. 48-hour stream confirmed. Yeah, no joke. Still got work in the morning. That's fair. But still, sounds like a marathon to me. This is gonna take a moment. That's gonna take a moment. So what else? What else are we doing here? Let's like check our plumbing, right? So we have our water starts here. Water's controlled by the water safety. And this, oh, why is that? Oh yeah, okay, these buttons connect to the releases, that's right. So the pumps are going to be on at all times, except for when we manually turn them off, except for the safeties, with the safeties. That's the preposition. The pumps will be, under normal operation, the pumps will be on at all times, but the floodgates will be closed. And then this mechanism here chooses which set of floodgates are open. And it will always do one or the other. Stream of steam didn't escape my mind. Stream of stream? So we have power coming in. We have enough power. I think we made more power. We made more power. Look at that. So up to 480 power. We're using 50 of it currently, and that's with all of those, all of these control ones going. So this is like as much as it's going to need. We're not powering the pumps themselves, but we're not going to have all of these on at all times. So now that this is disengaged, that is disengaged, I'm going to go ahead and put back in this axle. Now that it's not going to murder someone. This goes like that. Just have to flip those on manually when we get there. Stream of streams, yeah. Steam stream. I'm doing a Steam stream. That's what this is. Update: the British were not prepared at all. I've taken Albany, Maine, Boston, Annapolis. Excellent. Excellent. Kick him out. We've run out of milk for cheese somehow? I find that slightly surprising. We still have a bunch of... Oh, look at these rabbits. We're having a bunny explosion. And I didn't even realize it. That's a lot of bunnies. I'd ask where they came from, but I think I have a hunch. Which one of these is for milking? Okay, so we're actively milking, so that's all fine. Oh, look at all this. Oh, look at all this. Is this not... This should be... This should be going upstairs. Let's go to our textile room. That gets used up here, right? I think I just need to make a new stockpile out here just for the wool itself. Can have a little bit of room for it. So this is going to import from the wool pile. Upstairs wool. This will accept... is it technically refuse? I think it's technically refuse. Alpaca wool, and a sheep wool, and llama wool. See what that does. And I think we need to get rid of some of these bunnies. Yeah, that's too many. Well, they might taste good. Are bunnies tasty? I guess a rabbit can be tasty, right? And then I'm gonna gild the rest of these. We can have a handful. Geez, that's still a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Rabbit stew for everyone. A corollary to the tech guns game is you can have non-linear progression of technologies, so if you by some crazy idea figure out how to bottle plasma in the 17th century, plasma blunderbusses are on the table. See, now you're talking about Dwarf Fortress again. So instead of it being a technology thing, we're just gonna have magic blunderbusses. Oh yeah, I was the one who was talking about the Spiffing Brick game, but I can't remember what the game was. I want to say... It was probably one of the Paradox games. It looked awfully similar to Crusader Kings. It looked like it was like the same engine as Crusader Kings, but like different gameplay. Yeah, I think Europa Universalis? I've never actually tried to say that word out loud, apparently. I want to say it was that, but don't quote me on that. Use war, trade, or diplomacy. Yeah, I bet it's that. I think it's that. working on the garbage. So, like this... Yeah... I wish I could set, like, what a stockpile sources things from more granularly. Like, I want to say it like this can accept from the ground, but not from other stockpiles. But I guess I don't know how it considers, how it thinks about this. Because every time it dumps them all on one tile. So then everything but one bin, like, doesn't belong there anymore, I think is what's happening. Hearts of Iron could also be that. That's what I was thinking about. Forget map painting, it's selling tech that matters. Yeah, exactly. I think that would be cool. It is midwinter, so we're about to get another round of old age deaths, right? Our king is still here. Our king is 96 years old, and kobolds live to an average of 95. So we officially have an old king. I don't feel like I need to chase anything. That's good. You probably shouldn't be chasing anything. I'm really curious what happens once the king dies. Like a supervillain, I have secured the East Coast in 6 months. Wow, I am getting some letters of demands from settlers. Sure, that will be fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I think it might be time to get rid of the albatrosses. They've just been hanging out here on the edge of the map for a while. So I think they're stuck. Bird albatrosses. Nope. Tell me what's here. Bird albatross. Oh, it's just singular. Exterminate bird albatross. There we go. 10 dead albatrosses. Hooray. Around your neck, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. Too bad we can't go out into the water and grab them. I'm tempted. Do we do more melting? I only have this one shop doing the melting because it's more efficient as far as like saving materials goes. I also don't know if I have I might not have more magma. A Yeti. So we immediately got a Yeti. Merchants will be leaving. The rabbits are fighting. Yeti hunting time? I mean, if we could catch one. We have an empty spot in our zoo. Just kind of wandering around out here. Of course, we have everyone out on the surface picking up the garbage right now. So that could potentially be dangerous. Horrifying. Rabbits papping each other to death. Well, this is kobolds gelding the rabbits. So, the worst kind of violence. So, let's do it once over here. So we have 3 more links to do here. This is all connected. You know, glacier cleaning sounds like a good jobs program. That would be so hard, though, to do it for real. Cleaning all the blood off of a glacier sounds kind of difficult. So water comes here. This all looks fine. It comes down here. We're going to fill up this basin. This is all closed, right? Except for our 4 little holes. And then it's going to come down through these 4 bits and kind of pile up in these vertical shafts here. And just wait here. And similar with the magma. Magma starts here. I'm not going to worry about our stairs here. It's going to go down here. Going to fill up this basin. There are 4 holes. Goes down through here. And just waits at the gates. I think we're literally just waiting on our lever here. Our mechanisms. I'll do it. Just need a comically large blowtorch. There you go. Well, you can't remove the glacier. You need to... Are you gonna, like, fill in... Do you need, like, a big Zamboni? You're gonna fill in all the patches as you go? Keep the blood that's free water on the glacier. Blood glacier? That's hardcore. What if the kobolds lived here for so long that they eventually replaced the glacier with just blood? Like, it's just living on a giant frozen mass of goblin blood. And then you get, like, goblin blood icebergs out in the ocean. We're hanging out like low 20 frames, which, I mean, we've been hanging out at 30. I wonder what's going on. Well, the cleaning probably doesn't help. We don't have people mining. A lot of drinking. A lot of dying. Some combat drills. A lot of people not doing anything. We're gelding. What? To what? What does this mean? What is it? So we did put our Knock'em Zathid soldier scholar as the official scholar of our library. So that's fun. You have a lot of knowledge. Proficient reader. Look at all our books. Oh, we have so many. Wow, this is the fullest library I've ever had. Look at all of these books. Look at all the books. We have 165 written objects here. It's fantastic. Would make a very unforgettable D&D module, the Blood Glacier. Yeah. It's giving me Death Clock vibes. Blood Ocean. I hear a cat. Oh. I had the cats locked out all day. So I was worried that they were going to come in here and tear my face off, but Heck just came in and settled in her spot. So maybe we'll see Tofu too. Mostly we're letting this go. You're just thirsty. Sensory nerve damage. It might also be worth doing another round of siege training. I know we've lost a handful. We do still have several legendaries. Everyone's at least talented. That's actually not so bad. Maybe that's fine. Had a fun idea for a set piece for the starters pack of the Dragon of Icespire Peak that involved making your way to the peak. You find a glacier made entirely of half-eaten and still alive creatures. The white dragon freeze-breathed for eating later. Hilarious. The ice dragon's icebox. Glacier of leftovers. That's kind of hilarious. So I'm trying to think, what else? So the only other question we've had is like our defenses, right? This is like a general defense question. But how do you keep the ranged goblins from firing into your fortifications? I don't know, it's tempting to like... If I were to redo this, which I'm not going to do, I think we're going to live with the consequences of our decisions. But if I were to redo this again, I'd probably put the bunkers like on top of these, on top of our little turrets, or towers, I guess. So instead of them being on ground level, just put them up 1 or 2 levels. And I know that wouldn't fix the problem, right? We know, we've seen people die up here as well. But maybe it just needs to be really high up. The other thought I've had was, like, if you were starting over, right, doing like a defense design from scratch, incorporating catapults. Because we're not even using catapults here, right? Catapults are interesting because they do. Oh, hi, Tofu. Catapults are cool because they do splash damage. They're an area of effect thing, so like they hurl a boulder and the boulder kind of explodes. So I think if you had a way of like having more distance, right? Like the disadvantage we have here is that the goblins show up and they're just like in touching range of our bunker, right? Which was kind of on purpose, but if you had more room, right? More room on your map so that the goblins had to approach from further away, just had like a big open field, and had catapults that had range on that. So they're being like, so their big clusters being broken up way far out. And then as they filter in, you pick them off with the bolt throwers. So you're not trying to do like all of it with the bolt throwers, right? Because like this, we're meeting the full initial strength of the siege with a couple bolt throwers, which, as you can tell, has had quite a good effect. Definitely kills some goblins, but because there's so many of them in one place, we're not able to like target the ranged ones and make sure we get them before they get us. So I think if you were able to scatter them a bit before they entered the area that was covered by the bolt throwers, I think there'd be an advantage to that. You know how young dragons are. True. Forge more than they can eat and never clean up. True. True, true, true. I'm saving it for later, Mom. All these goblins are frostburned. You need to clean out your fridge. Update, some angry settlers / colonists have revolted and taken Boston. Classic. Classic Boston. Looks like we're getting through our corpses. Definitely have burned a lot of corpses. Something tea. This sounds vaguely familiar. Okay, last link here. Hey, look, a bauxite figurine of that elf. That's all fine. That's all fine. Hello, zombie giant sponge. How's it going? Howdy, howdy. We're doing mad science here today. Like many fortifications, you often have to improve an imperfect start. True. True, true, true. You'd be a good person to ask this, Sponge. We've been having sieges, as you can tell. And we have these little ground level bunkers with some bolt throwers. And they've been pretty effective. But we have noticed that goblins can shoot in, and we've lost a good handful of our siege operators while they've been inside our bunkers. And the wiki says that it's elite bowmen specifically who can fire in, or if they're like standing adjacent. But we've witnessed non-elite bowmen firing through the fortifications at us. I guess question A is, have you observed the same thing? Because we might just be experiencing bugginess, because this is an old world at this point. But also, what would you do? Like, I know them being on the ground level isn't necessarily the best, but I also have this tower over here. I've definitely had some get shot up here. Like, we observed a goblin down here firing up into here, and that's a good 4 Z levels. And that being lethal enough to, like, kill a kobold. So I'm trying to think of how you would design bunkers or just general siege emplacements so that you weren't vulnerable to incoming fire. And I have a hunch that that's kind of changed recently. That may have changed in either the siege update, that's my hunch, or the Marksdorf update, though that's true. That was a separate one. Unfortunately, I don't have much hands-on experience with fortifications since then. Gotcha. Okay. That's right, we did change how crossbows worked in general, right? Just how ranged combat works. I forgot about that. Looks like we dealt with all the corpses. Except for this one. We're just gonna dump this one. That was a noble visitor, but apparently they don't get put in the tombs. I wonder if placing the fortifications and the mark stores a few Z levels above their zone of fire might provide an advantage. I'm also curious about this. That was kind of my only thought for what I would do different. I do really like having, like there are aspects of this that work really, really well. Like this is our trade entrance, and then when we get siege, we close that, and then this is like the main attacker entrance. And having these little corridors and choke points is very good. You can kind of tell the path that they take. They like to show up here. I come down here. We usually don't have people responding to our request for siege operations very quickly here. That's one thing I would love to be slightly different. But I have these two just on at all times, right? To guarding our trade entrance. So nothing can sneak in. We've definitely caught some sneakers trying to work their way in here. But the goblins will just come around here. And by the time they are like in line of sight of the bolt throwers, they're just like right here. And they panic and like try to keep going. And like this is a ridiculous kill zone. We kill a lot of goblins through this little stretch here. And we've done that enough that they've actually started like going around this way. So we put in another bunker down here. And this also works. But because, you know, as they're coming down this ramp, they're directly adjacent to the fortifications. We've definitely lost a couple of kobolds in here. Just because a bow goblin will come down. Their three friends will die real quick, but they can get a couple shots off on the kobold inside. And that's enough to take down a kobold because they're not wearing armor. Because the siege bolts are just citizens, right? With the siege operator thing enabled. So I've been debating like putting them all in a squad and giving them like leather armor as a uniform. But I don't know if that'd be worth it. But yeah, that's where our defenses are at. Oh, check out I don't know if you've seen this. I finished all my flags. Or at least I finished them to my satisfaction. We have these four. This is non-binary. This is... I'm not even gonna remember them all. I want to say this is Ace. I have to pull them up again. This is agender. And then this one is asexual. Or no, yeah. This is asexual, agender, non-binary, trans. Rastafarian, because that was a viewer request and no one else piped up. Bi, and this was a new one to me. I don't even know if I know how to pronounce it. Neutra something? Yeah, Neutrois. Neutrois. Which was a new one to me. So I tossed it in. And then we have Pan and Polly? Yeah, Pan and Polly. And then Bear. We decided that there's too many bears in our fort to not have the bear flag, so there's the bear flag. And then here's our polar bear man-sized adamantine armor ready for our next adventure. That's also exciting. Okay, so this got done. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this lever. Pull this once. This is our active project down here. I'm curious how this iteration will go. We've been debating, we might end up removing like this entire outside level. Because I want the steam to come up. I want the steam to rise, and that has been oddly difficult. Steam apparently doesn't go up through floor grates, which is quite strange, but that is what we were observing. Still haven't figured out Mark's dwarves. Mark's dwarves are great. We didn't really do them in this fortress. I guess we haven't done a whole lot of Mark's bolds in this world. But in the previous world, I leaned on Mark's dwarves quite a bit. Especially like with a small fort. We had a real small fort. We had a 1x1 embark fort, and so the wall was basically the entire map, and then the courtyard was on the inside. So I leaned a lot on having Mark's dwarves patrolling the wall, especially, you know, the giant agitated Kias being a thing. Mark's dwarves did a good job with that. There we go. These have been disengaged. So I'm going to disassemble this. I'm going to disconnect these, right? Because that was a pull the lever once kind of a deal, because I just want them in the opposite state. When we link them, there we go. And then all our buttons are gonna get linked to those. I'm gonna name these even. This is water button south, magma button south, water button west, magma button west. This is magma button north, water button north, and this is water, right? Yeah, this is water. Water button east. Oops, I'm pressing the wrong button. Oh, come on. Stop. What on earth? Okay, hold on. Right, they should be on... That really messed them all up. That's cool. So when I'm... I'm trying... you guys. You can't do that. I can't type E. Except for when I can. This is magma button east. I can't do capital E. I can't type a capital E because it messes with my DF hack settings. That's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. If I'm typing up here, this should ignore it. Mark's dwarf. Just 4 dwarves walking around causing chaos, wearing a blonde wig and glasses with a mustache. There you go. Dwarves are somewhat Marxist. In that sense. In a different sense. There's magma button E. Okay, so now I need to double check all of my settings. My god. So this does not trigger on magma. This triggers on, not on water. Magma 3. Yeah, water 3. Or no, magma 0. Water 3. My god. Water 0, magma 3. Magma 0, water 3. Wow, it really just screwed them all up. It just screwed them all up. Okay, so that one's fine. Magma 0, water 3. Okay, right? Why is it showing, and then it shows like the other one? Hilarious. Okay, so magma 3, Water 3. Magma 3. Water 3. Magma 3. Water 3. Magma 3. Water 3. Okay. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. So now I need to link all these. So water south. So the water buttons. I need to rethink this. So if the water buttons are pressed, I need to move the water to activate the magma switch. This is the magma switch. And it pumps this way. So when there is water down there and the water buttons are pressed, I need to activate this pump to activate the magma release and unactivate the water release. So it's these 4. So I'm gonna do water, link. The plate needs to be magma safe. Right, so that goes there. I can't just zoom. Here we go. No? Nope. Okay. So then water number 2 links to here. Water number 3 links to here. And then water number 4 links to there. And same thing on the other side. Magma number 1 links to here. Magma number 2 links to here. Right? Magma number 3 links to number 3. Magma number 4 links to here. Did I do all that right? Magma water, magma water, magma water, magma water. Hello, Zach and Cody. How's it going? We're doing silly things. But once all these are linked up, and this can all happen in parallel, not waiting for one person to do all of these, right? All of these are going to happen at once. Supposedly. Yeah, here come some people. So those will get linked to here. And then we're just going to put in some water. Cross our fingers. It's going all right. Brand new to the game. Well, welcome in. We are a bit late in the game. We're on to the player invented tasks at this point. Oh, interrupted by Yeti. I have a Yeti upstairs. Oh, there you are. We're on a glacier. We were recently attacked by goblins, so we've actually cleaned up a bunch of this. Looking for a community to help me learn. Well, welcome in. This is my favorite game. We have plenty of other people in chat who know this game as well. Using classic but with a hewn mod. Interesting. I've never interacted with that one. I haven't played classic since the Steam release came out. Because I like graphics. But Zombie Giant Sponge here is very well acquainted with like the ASCII graphics and all that good stuff. Yeah, and they... I don't know what to do about this. Playing current version with ASCII or classic version? That's a good question. I'd probably recommend learning on the newest, but I actually don't know. I don't know what I would recommend. I think... How do I want to do this? The issue that I'm having here... So this is my garbage disposal system, right? I have a corpse pile and I have a weapon pile. And I have everyone grabbing the weapons and putting them in this weapon pile, right? Except they seem to have stopped doing so. Maybe that does need to accept from everywhere. And then this pile loads into this this minecart. The minecart comes down to our melting area and gets dumped right here. And then of course we have a giant pile of things that end up in this square. So now people are coming back to grab the bins from this square and they move them back upstairs. Which is not what I want them to do. Yeah, they just move them back upstairs. So they end up just going back and forth. And I don't know what to do about that. I think Hune messes with ASCII. Interesting. Do you have a Discord? I sure do. We have there's a link down there. Would love to hop in voice chat and screen share sometime for pointers. That's fair. We have a voice chat. I'm not sure we've ever used it. But we do have a Dwarf Fortress channel, which would be definitely welcome for questions in there. We have a ghostly cheesemaker. Oh, did I not bury someone? Erpler? I thought we buried everyone. Let's make a slab. Report Erpler. Oh, engineer. Why didn't they get buried? Are we just we might just be out of tombs. Let's go ahead and do that. And check out down here. Oh yeah, and then I guess we did dry all this out. So we have more space for coffins. So I'm just gonna plop them in here. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Can get rid of this door to let the water out. We've got a lot of aquifer nonsense in this fort. Let's put in a bunch of doors. There we go. Tombs. Blam. Now we have tombs. Our animal trainer walking around with all the giant polar bears, which is excellent. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Cancel store item in bin, job item displaced. Yeah. Huh. See, they are putting stuff in here. It's all definitely ending up in here. I think I can close this now. Come back up here. Should be, is there, oh, we even dealt with all the corpses. Wow. Wow. Okay. Makes me nervous to watch people walk over a bridge anytime oh, like that. Okay, well, you didn't get deleted, but you did get hit. I would love a way to prevent that from happening as well. Wow, okay. You got very lucky there. Colrack there got very, very lucky. But it'd be cool to have, like, if there's someone standing on the bridge, then maybe it waits a tick before closing. And there's a bunch of stuff sitting here. But that seems fine. Oh, hello, Dr. Scrawl. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. It seems to mostly be the bins. Okay, so here we have our tile here has one bin and a bunch of individual weapons. We have a minecart coming in with several bins. But like none of these have tasks associated with them. So then we're just gonna dump. And now we have a bunch of armor bins here, and now everyone's gonna come and grab these armor bins and move them back upstairs. How do I make that not happen? Is it because, I mean, there shouldn't be much steel in here, right? If any. Should all be like copper and iron. A bunch of bolts. So I do I have this link? So this should be giving the copper ammo to the ammo pile. Or no, it's actually inputting from all ammo. Where is that this? I want this the other way, don't I? Is outputting to melt pile. I think I want, because this should be, this takes bolts of all kind, but nothing else. I think I want that the other way around. I think I want this to bring in from the melt pile. So any bolts that are in here end up in our ammo pile and not in the melt pile. I think that's what I want. All our masterworks here. All the things that I'm not allowed to burn go right here. Yeah, see, now they're just gonna bring it all back upstairs. I could forbid them. How about I do this? Stop it. Just leave it on the ground. It's fine. That's where it belongs. Except that you do want the ammo from in here. That's really the difference. Of course, all the arrows I don't want. But see, they're not gonna like sort through this. They're just gonna bring the whole bin upstairs. Isn't really what I want. Springtime. Okay, so the king might die. Our king is old enough that he might die right now. I'm down to 138. Wow. We've been capped at 150. And we keep getting up to 150, and then the goblins come, and then we're down to like 140 again. Whatever. Okay. Unpause. We have at least 3 deaths. Laura, the glassmaker. Oh, were you in a squad? You were not in a... Or no, you were. Our squad leader died again. A second... Oh, that was Rari, wasn't it? Yeah, wow. That's the second time a squad leader died of old age. Cool. And then Korik here. I don't think you were important. But let's check on the king. The king is now 97. Wow. Urtak the farmer's dead. The king's gonna live another year. Uter the herbalist is dead. Wow. The king has outlived quite a few people. There's the king's nephew. And the king's wife isn't even here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, the Stonecrafter. Wow, this is wow. We're losing a lot this year. That's cool. It's what we get for staying in the world for a while. Also, good thing I just made a bunch more tombs. Wow, six in 1 year. That might be a record for me. Okay, did all of these get linked? Here's our mad science project. So that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Still have a lot of apprentices. We still have... We have our lead apprentice. Oh, you want what? You want quivers? Okay, whatever. We are a lead apprentice, but I think that's going to be like the person who inherits the overseer, not necessarily the king. Our king's called a winged one. I think we just have... I guess let's check our labor distribution again. Well, we have all these legendary miners. Don't care about those. We have 4 legendary planters. That's probably fine. We're not fishing. We're not gathering plants. We have a bunch of legendary stonecutters. That's fine. We have 1 high master engraver. We haven't been doing much engraving recently, though. We kind of did all the engraving we needed, which is good because all the good engravers are dead now. So I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, our medical staff, we should probably check. So we do still have Ido the Fixer. Let's check on our hospital. Okay, that seems fine. We have a doctor, fixer, doctor. Cool. This all seems... Oh, we're out of soap! We need to make soap! We need soap! That was happening here. So let's do... I should probably just do this through work orders. I'm gonna say... Make ash? Make ash. Do 10 of those. And then I'm gonna want... Make lye, right? I think is what I want. That's what I want. Make lye. And then... make soap from tallow? I think we have a bunch of tallow. I'm assuming. Yes, we have 54 llama tallow. That should be fine. Oh, and a bunch of our wool has shown up. So there should be a bunch of spin jobs, right? Spin thread should be going. Should be going like 10 at a time. So I think they're working on it. I think they're working on it. We have a bunch of dye. I think that's all fine. Okay. I think it's time to test our construction again. I think we're ready. So we're going to start with water, right? I think that's the safer part. So we're going to put water in here. I'm going to designate a pond. So we're just going to fill it manually. And I'm going to do 3 of them so we can have 3 people doing it at the same time. So people should grab some buckets of water and start filling that up. And then once this is pressed, it's going to release the water. And then I guess we need to turn off the safeties? Turn on the safeties? So we're going to turn on the pumps. So our reservoirs are going to fill, and then we're just controlling these gates. We're controlling these gates with these buttons, essentially. Just in a very roundabout way. Oh, a Yeti's fighting. Flying copper bolt. Oh, did you kill a Yeti? Someone got a Yeti. 8 emperor penguins. We have more penguins. Hello, penguins. These aren't giant though. These are just normal sized penguins. We have our own penguins over here. We have giant penguins in our penguin zoo. Yeah, that's all gonna, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Let's keep an eye down here. Yeah, here we go. So water is pumping. And magma is pumping. What are you doing? You are storing an item. Hopefully you're not going... There's nothing down here for you to go for, right? So basically I want to fill this reservoir. And then we have these vertical tubes. And then this is going to be the magma reservoir. It has these 4 tubes. They're just going to be stacked in this plumbing, waiting to get put into here. Okay. This all seems fine. We have plenty of power. These are all disengaged. That's all correct. We already have 1 thing of water in here. Of course, as soon as we have even depth 1 of water on this button, it's going to release the water, which is what I want, right? Of course, I think these should probably go on like 2s. Okay, so here we have depth 1 water in our little pond. So our button is pressed. So that should release the water gates in a moment, right? Yeah, there we go. Now the water is being released. And now this is going to fill up until the water buttons are registering a depth of 3. At which point it will switch to the magma. The magma is going to take a moment to fill in here anyway. But I think what would be ideal here, realistically, this should be on like depth 2. Because I didn't think about it when we made all this, but oh, the elves are here. When we pump from here, or did that dry out? I might have just dried out. When we pump from here, there's a chance that, or it's almost guaranteed that we're still going to have water on this tile because we're pumping from this tile. I should have put the button directly beneath the pump. That would have been smarter. But instead, we're just going to have a trigger on 2. We're also going to have to keep an eye on this because we're probably going to lose some water just for evaporation purposes. I don't know how I would automate that. But this all seems fine. So now they're all closed, which is what I want. The magma definitely pumps slower. I wonder if we should have like two magma pumps? Would that be smart? How would I keep water in here at all times? Because you can never pump all of the water except for one tile. I guess if I made it vertical, it would have been a bit... I could have done this vertically, and then it would just like be harder to look at. Okay, there we go. So now this can be pressed. So that will release the water again. Release it for real. Production mandate near deadline. Oh, because you want a quiver. Whatever. We are seeing magma showing up here. So that's a good sign. And then once each of the water buttons, I guess they're already being pressed? Oh, this is active. Okay. So actually we're pumping. Okay, there we go. So we just pumped water over. So now that's going to almost push this because we don't have enough water in here yet. That's actually probably good. So I'm going to let them continue putting water in here. So now neither of them are pressed. But we're still filling up our reservoirs, so I think that's fine. But it seems like it doesn't wait until like they're getting solid 3s, right? Like it's going back and forth between 2 and 3, but it's keeping the button pressed. So maybe I want these on 4. Just to make sure we have a fair bit of water in here. I'll do the same with the magma ones. Okay. So now this pump is not on. That's fine. That's what we wanted. I don't think I care to trade with the elves today. I'm surprised that the king is still alive. I was expecting the king to be dead like 2 years ago. Okay. I'm curious to see how this works. It's definitely going to inject the magma faster than previously. The war giant polar bear is fighting the emperor penguin. The emperor penguin falls over. No, they're wandering in. The emperor penguins are wandering in through the trade entrance. And the polar bear... Craro the polar bear is not going to let that happen. Afraid after experiencing trauma. They're so peaceful though. They're so docile. They're still all doing this, aren't they? Or I guess I forbid it. Okay, maybe it's fine. You're sleepy. They're peaceful and sleepy. Oh, that's fair. They are. Oh, there's another dead one. Who did that one? That was a different bear. That was a different giant war polar bear. To be fair, emperor penguins are like 6 feet tall. True. I would also be afraid of them. Yeah, so we've domesticated a wild population of giant polar bears and given them war training. We have also befriended a group of polar bear people and put them into our squad. And together, they are some of the more ridiculous characters I've ever seen in this game. Legendary fighter level 100 plus. Observer 100 plus. Axeman 100 plus. Discipline 100 plus. Legendary kicker. Like Moser here is legendary miscellaneous object user. I've never seen that before. Moser here has mastered the art of picking up something off the ground and throwing it at you. Or like beating you with a chair. Moser could beat someone with a chair more effectively than most people could fight with a weapon. Grandmaster Biter, a polar bear person with nearly legendary biting. No doubt taught from a kobold, because a kobold leads this squad. Or did. We actually need to assign a leader. The leader of this squad died of old age. Who wants to lead some polar bears? You're gonna be learning from them. Almost certainly. Here, Cheesemaker, go hang out with the polar bears. Enjoy. Jackie Chan skill, exactly. Jackie Chan polar bear person. There's just more, like they're just gonna wander in. Oh, that poor penguin. Oh, that poor penguin. And they're not getting it. They're not getting that they shouldn't be hanging out here. I also like how the bear clearly doesn't care that the penguins are around. Oh, now they do. They've gotten fed up. like they were just waiting until they came over here. Like you can hang out in the doorway, but if you come towards the stairs, that's gonna be too much. Now we're down to 3 penguins. There's 2 of them. Where's the 3rd one? Definitely dealt with all that garbage, though. What the penguins do? I think they encroached on the polar bear's territory. Which is funny. I'm overcome by terror, of course. Because they're not attacking. I think the bears just got agitated. This is a northern hemisphere ice cap, dang it. All the penguins can go. Oh, we should keep an eye on down here. So now we have both things open, which isn't quite correct. Oh, but we are making steam. Okay. So it is happening. Too bad I didn't get to see it. But now both of them are open, which isn't what I wanted. Go back south. So we're making steam. Steam is happening, but it's not rising up through here. Yeah, steam doesn't seem to come up through the bars or the grates. Was that like all the magma? That was a fair bit of the magma. So now I think this needs to be, or no, not. This triggers on water 2. I'm going to say water 3. Do that. So this one will probably stay open. I think that's right. So now none of them are being depressed. Magma's being held back, the water is flooding in. Of course, now we're gonna have these strange areas that we can't get back into. But that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, we just don't get steam up here. So I think what we're gonna do, I think we make this dangerous. I think I'm gonna take out this outer level of grates. And it's just gonna be open. As terrible of an idea as that is, no one do what I'm doing. Everything I'm doing today is folly. Just so we're clear. Gonna have a bunch of extra floor grates sitting around. Okay. So we'll let them do that. Still slaughtering our rabbits. I guess I'm going to replace the bars with the grates since The bars did not do anything different. So at least be consistent, I guess. Okay. So now this is filling up nicely. We have a fair bit of magma here. So I want to watch it happen. So now here's, this one got pressed. So now we have fours are showing up. So now this one's pressed. I'm gonna try to pause as soon as the fourth one is pressed. Because like if we go up here to our control mechanism, it's like 2 of these are disengaged and 2 of them are active, which is exactly what I want. And all 4 of these are inactive. And then I think, and then these are triggering on 3. So I'm going to turn off, I'm going to remove these pawns. So I don't want them to both activate again, right? So once we pump the water out of here, then that one should unpress. Also, we have a bunch of people down here, so we'll see if this is, like, dangerous. We'll see just how bad of an idea this is very shortly. There's a third button. You just dropped it down there. Okay. Well, it's gone now. No one can get that now. And there's the 4th button. Okay. So we pause. Gonna come up here. This is indeed pumping. So now this button is pressed. All 4 of these are on. And now this one should unpress. Should unpress in a moment. We're just paused right now. So this one is pressed, so now the magma release. The magma should release. There we go. We also want to see the water close. Now we're gonna have a bunch of steam. Here's some steam, but that's like below. Here we go. No, that's below. I just wanted to come up. Okay, it came up to this level here, came up there. There are a couple spots where we have steam on this level. Okay, here we go. There's steam. There's steam! It is spreading out. Okay. Okay. It is happening. Here we have, look, we have a kobold standing in steam. There is steam on this tile. The kobold is there. The kobold is not injured. Everything's fine. Masterwork's been lost. That's because someone dropped it down there. But now the water's being held back. Cool. Okay. Okay. Did that one? Oh, these are just needing to be grabbed. Okay. Okay. We did it? We made a sauna? Why is there not a grate there anymore? Or there? I told you, did I not tell you to do that? I want one there and there. Success? I think so. I think that's success. kind of want to keep an eye on it for a moment. So now we're filling with magma, right? Magma from our reservoir here. I think we should maybe double up on the magma pumps. Which now that the pumps are just on all the time, so we don't need to hook them up into our control logic. So we can just toss in another one and not change anything. So I might have to do that. But it's filling up with magma quite nicely. Yeah, and realistically, the steam is being created like directly underneath these open spots. So that's about as good as it can get. It's about as good as we're gonna get. Sure doesn't look safe, does it? And this is just on the ground, right? That's not, this one isn't installed. Same thing here, that one's just sitting there. So I've gotten rid of all the grates on the outside. Okay, I want to watch it swap over to the other way as well. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Should swap any moment now. There we go. Here comes the water. And the magma just goes in. Oh, wow. So it's just happening right there. Huh. Magma kind of overpowers the water. That's interesting. Maybe I don't want it to go up to 4. It's making a lot of steam, but it's not coming out here. Huh. Interesting. The water is like technically under pressure, right? Like it's falling several floors. But the magma comes in this way for it. Maybe what we do... Maybe the magma ones go to 3, and the water ones go to 4. Hey, a strange mood. Because now we're not going to get any steam up here. Because it all just happened back here. And now that there's less magma, the water can come out to here. Very interesting. Oh, well, now there's no longer any penguins. And the elves are leaving. And now the magma... Yeah, magma's turned off. Water is slowly overtaking. We're refilling our magma. Where would I put a... Could have another magma right here, right? So why is this thing so hard? I don't understand. Because the physics aren't designed to work this way? Because we're doing something very non-standard. And because water physics. and steam physics, apparently. Steam does not behave the way I would expect steam to behave. So now it's coming up. So issue difficulty 1 is that steam does not behave like steam. Like we're making a lot of steam down here, but it does not rise through grates. It does not rise through bars. It does not seek out holes in the ceiling. So like if we're making steam on one tile and there's not an opening above that tile, the steam just goes sideways. So like if steam is made back here, it will never just work its way out here and come up. It just stays in here. But like here, it's like we can make steam here, and then it rises up a little bit, right? Like there's a little bit there. So the steam has to be created directly underneath where you want it to be. And you can't have anything in between. We couldn't, like it just has to be open, apparently. We can't have a thing that would prevent a kobold from falling in that also lets the steam come up. The other... So like there's a bunch of steam being made here, but it's never going to come up through here. The other issue that we're having is that pressure is strange. I guess we'll watch it again when it happens, but like when there's water in the basin and the magma flows out, it seems to be okay with like the magma pushes out into here and the steam happens here, which is where we want it to happen, right? But when the water was released, when there's magma in the basin and we open the water gate, the magma pushed back on the water. So the steam was just being made here. So none of it came out. None of it made it to here. Which is not what I expected to happen. Also, fire snake in the water is funny. Well, it's filling up with water again. We have plenty of magma here. Maybe we don't need to. Maybe that's enough. But I want to watch it happen again when we get back up to 3s and 4s for the water. It'll swap back over. The other question that's been raised is, can steam go like horizontally through fortifications or through wall grates? Because we can make wall grates instead of floor grates. We would have to like rise up through this outside ring and then flow in. We're already getting so little just with this, like minimal interference. They're just adding more things. I don't know that's going to be helpful. But also, this is also like completely player goal, right? Like the steam doesn't actually do anything for the kobolds. So we have 2 buttons pressed, 3 buttons pressed, 4 buttons pressed. So now we should see the magma release. There it goes. And see now it's pushing into the water. I wonder how much of that has to do with like the depth. But see, now the steam is happening here, which means it is coming up. See, that is what we want. That doesn't look too bad. There's a fair amount of steam in here now. And the water is closed, and now it's gonna fill with magma. So that part works at least. The part that we did on purpose is functioning as we designed it. It's just not as dramatic as I want it to be. But I don't know that there's anything else to do. I don't know if there's anything... I don't know that there's any improvements to be made here. So yeah, we're pumping the water from this side to this side. A raid? Hello, hello everyone. Yeah, come look at my sauna. Hello, Belly Television. How are you? I don't think I've seen you around before. Let me give you a shout out real quick. Thank you for the raid. We're dwarfing. What were you up to? Do you also dwarf? You also dwarf. So you know what's up. We made a sauna. I guess. I guess I succeeded. And then now the water's gonna come out again. Right? Is that really what we want? Yeah, so now the water is just gonna happen in here. That's what's strange to me. Trying to wrap around my head what's happening. Well, yeah, agreed. So the intent is a sauna. I want a spa. We're under a glacier right now. My goal was to make a spa under a glacier, or on a glacier. And to a large degree, we've succeeded. We have a nice retreat here. I think this is behaving as expected. See, there is some steam coming up. I want a room that fills with steam. That's really all I was trying to do here. Turns out that's really complicated. But we're on a glacier. Also, we're kobolds. So here's our tavern. Here's our penguin zoo. There's giant war polar bears wandering around. Here's our library. We also have some polar bear people. Nabel, our tavern keeper, is in here reading Do You Know Foraging Behavior? We have our treasure vault filled with all sorts of things. Oh, we're getting some migrants even. We've had enough deaths that we're actually getting more migrants. This is our trade depot and our corpse disposal system. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door since we've dealt with the goblin corpses. This is our temple complex. I just want to make sure that our door closes safely. Oh, we got another maybe 6 or 7 migrants there. There, okay. But then like there's no hallways up here, right? They're all accessed from these hatches. Go down into the glacier itself. Here's our throne room. Here's the king, Nolak the Winged One, conducting a meeting on his frozen throne. I feel so good. Part of the reason we've been in this fort so long is I kind of want to watch the king die of old age. Kobolds live to an average of 95 years old, so he's old now. So any year he's going to fall over dead. And we're going to see our kingdom be inherited by another person, which is interesting, I think. But yeah, the throne room is directly beneath the tavern. And then we have all of these little temples beneath the religious temple thing, and then we have all these guild halls underneath the library. Here's our siege training area. Did you start the fort in year 100? Not this fort. We started this world in year 100, but this is our third fort in this world. So we've been playing for 78 in-game years. Zraki, the siege operator, has created Echo Reller, a gypsum mug. Oh, hooray. That is only the millionth gypsum artifact. Let's toss it up here. We have a free spot somewhere. Here we go. But I've been really enjoying this world. Basically, we've been playing as this kobold civilization this whole time, having all sorts of great adventures. That's our third gypsum artifact mug. That is our third artifact gypsum mug. We also got fancy with windows. I have completed all of the windows. Here's all of the window colors in case you were ever curious. But we've been constructing the story slowly but surely in our world. It's kind of a small world. We're down here right now in the corner on this glacier, on a holy glacier. Our original fortress is up here at Leopard Bends, or up here at Leopard Bends. Even has like a hillock associated with it now. I don't think that happened when we were there. And then Springwoods used to be our capital, but now it does not appear to have that many people in it. Playpains was taken over by the goblins, apparently. We've done quite a bit to the goblins in this world. This is one goblin capital that we have, Devil Sprinkle is the capital that we have occupied. There's another goblin capital down here, Horror Castle, that's been completely destroyed by the humans, I believe. And then the last one is this one, Dark Goblin Fortress of Tear Hated. That's the one that keeps sieging us, but now it says it has like 20 people in it. So we've like killed a lot of goblins in this world. There's still plenty of goblins in this world, but we've been giving them what for. But yeah, now this is gonna refill with water. Maybe the idea is we fill with water more than we fill with magma. It's like the magma, we just want to make sure that the water is gone, right? It's really all we want. Though this is refilling. Maybe I'll leave it as it is. Do kobolds like steam? Not really. This is entirely for my benefit, which is just one of the many reasons why this is silly. I wanted to. I wanted to come out here and make a luxury resort. And for the most part, we've succeeded. We've made a bunch of igloos on the surface. Everyone's really happy. We have really good meals going on. We have waterfalls. They care about the waterfalls. They do not care about the steam. They don't even register the steam. And that's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I'm thinking, so that we've been testing this whole time. I'm tempted to like turn this into a meeting area and seeing if anyone actually likes hanging out down here. My last idea was to, like, construct this out of ice. That would be its own trick. That's its own flex. This is going to be... How about a temple? How about a non-dedicated temple? We already have one of those, but that's fine. The Bodice of Ropes. Come down and worship the steam. There we go. There goes the magma again. The fact that this is all automatic does make me very happy. And there it goes. Hey, look, a dog. So it's not as dramatic as I would like. It's not as elegant as I would like. But who cares? Right? I'm going to call that a success. I'm going to call my arbitrary goal a success. I think it's nice. Good. Good. I wonder if you could mod... I wonder if you could mod them into having steam thoughts. Just have it work the same as a waterfall thought, right? Just say if they're standing in a tile that has steam, then they get a nice, that was relaxing thought. I wonder if you could do that. Especially with the Lua stuff that's been happening. Of course, then I would want, like, the steam to work different. I think the steam physics themselves could use some work. And see, here comes the water. But the water just happens back here. You could do... I'm not going to do this, but I'm trying to think of, like, how you could do this better. I guess you would have... like if you had a... Here, I can do this. Check out this toy. If you had a trough of water... Say this is top down. This is all water. And then you have... like just a bunch of floodgates along the side of a trough. And then you have... I guess this would be a walkway. Or no, I guess the trough itself would be open. And then you have people standing on top, like you have people standing over here and people standing over here. And then you have magma flood into this trough from both sides. And flash the water to steam, and then it rises up through the trough. Because the magma seems to push into the water, right? Like all this magma is pushing in, and the steam is happening in here. But when it goes the other way, the magma pushes out, and the steam happens here. That's what's interesting. That's what I didn't account for, because I kind of assumed fluids were fluids. But clearly not. And see, now that there's no magma to push back, the water is mixing here. So now we're getting some steam. Baby! Blacksmith has given birth to kobold hatchlings. Cody? Where's Cody? Blacksmith. I gave birth to triplets. Excellent. Also, these are modded kobolds. This is from a mod. And they have little clutches. Right? Yeah, look. 3 babies. Dada, Shazlu, and Kaki. 2 of them are the same color. 1 of them's not. Impressive the game has Steam, right? I know this is Dwarf Fortress, so obviously it has Steam. I don't know that that's obvious. I guess if you have water and magma be so prominent, then you should have what happens when they mix, right? How did you get polar bear people? Is that a mod, or did you do adventure mode stuff? Well, the polar bear people themselves are naturally occurring polar bear people. These are vanilla polar bear people, but I used DF hack to turn them into citizens. And that has had some effects. People should listen to what I have to say. Early on in the fortress, and giant polar bears, yes. And that's because we're on a savage biome. We are on a savage good glacier. Because of course we are. The polar bear people wandered onto the map early on in this fortress's life. And they did like animal people things, right? They wandered in, they kind of kept their distance, and then they left. And we were like, well, that's weird. And then they came back. So I set up a trap. This works for bears. This works for bears in general, but also bear people, apparently. But bears like to steal booze. So if you have a stockpile on the surface that has a barrel of booze in it, and then you surround that stockpile with cage traps, you acquire some bears. That's how we've acquired both the bear people and the bears, with booze traps, which I find just amazing on its own. Yeah, you're not doing so good, are you? Fan of the PvP? Yep, offer them bearded job, exactly. So our headcanon for what happened was we caught them stealing our booze and said, okay, but how about you stay here? How about we give you all the booze that you could ever drink, but you stay here and protect us? So 4 of them ended up in our squad. And then the others are doing other things. I think we have a fair bit at this point. I think we only lost 1 to a tantrum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 of them are in a squad. 1 of them's a tavern keeper. 1 of them's a bard. 1 of them is is going to inherit the site, right? 1 of them's our lead apprentice. So when our overseer dies, it's going to be controlled by Mothdast, which I just think is great. And they've just been here this whole time. The ones in the squad are ridiculous. So you say adventure mode. We've been doing adventure mode in this world to great effect. Ask me about my zombie monitor lizard man. But we have not yet adventured with these characters. So when we're done with this fort here, which is probably going to be soon, I mostly just want to watch the king die. That's like the last thing I want to do in this fortress. Of course, now it's going to take at least another year for that to happen. But once we are satisfied with this fortress, I'm going to take one of these polar bear people. Probably, I think I'm thinking about Moser in particular, who is a legendary axeman, who is level 100 plus in fighter, observer, axeman, and discipline, and is legendary in everything else, and will soon be a legendary biter. And we've also created a suit of polar bear man-sized adamantine armor, and found a divine metal axe, and that's gonna make for a fun adventure. I think that will be fun. I think we're gonna go pay a visit to that last surviving goblin fortress, and see if we can ask them some questions. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. That's like up next once we're done here. And then we're gonna return to our original fortress and see if we can find a conclusion to our story here. Zombie monitor lizard man. Reg. Oh, Reg. We have spent many an hour regaling the triumphs of Reg. We have a necromancer in our other fortress. Except I don't know where she is now. I actually don't know where Shem is now. Long story short, all of our adventures have circled back to the necromantic slabs. So we've actually acquired all 7 necromantic slabs and sealed them away in a lead vault above a volcano, as you do, in our original fortress. And Shem the necromancer, as our adventure person, read all of the slabs. And I think that amounted to 5 different types of intelligent undead that she can make. So she basically made a squad of 10. Not basically. We made a squad of 10. 10 lizard people adventurers, and made 2 of each intelligent undead by systematically starving them to death and then resurrecting them. So then we had an adventure party of 10 intelligent undead lizard people, and we went on a crusade. And one of the more impressive figures that came out of that saga was Reg, the monitor lizard man. And, oh, see, now they're all closed. See, because there's not enough water here. That's the thing. That's going to be the only thing that prevents this from going forever. It turns out that monitor lizard people are quite large. And if you're familiar with Dwarf Fortress stuff, then you know that combat frequently comes down to who's biggest. White water. So yeah, I'm gonna put water on the magma, or no, that's the water release. That's fine. That's fine. Because that's just gonna get pumped out as I put it, right? Yeah, so this is already on. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Reg is just insane. But it's because he's large. Monitor lizard people are very large. Because monitor lizards are very large. And apparently animal people become... The size of an animal person is halfway between human and that animal. So monitor lizard people are larger than humans. And like bird people are all very tiny. So he went on they went on a grand adventure. They got a lot of kills. They got a lot of goblins out of that fortress. Then they came back to our first fortress. Reg became a squad leader, I want to say. I think I put them all in a squad. I think I had a squad with just 10 intelligent undead people, which was also great. And then we uncovered a divine metal longsword, and he was a swords person. So we gave Reg a divine metal longsword, and then you know, went on an adventure with him on his own. At this point we've used him as an adventurer several times. To the point where he basically became Like, I wouldn't call him the main character, but he's one of the main characters of this world at this point. We founded our second fortress, was in the evil forest directly in the shadow of one of the goblin fortresses, as you do. And he recruited a bunch of the necromancer experiments from the necromancer towers that we liberated. So that fortress was just full of necromancer experiments, as you do. So now our civilization just has a bunch of necromancer experiments. I think we have one here. Do you count as a citizen? There you are. Tawat here is a Nakamzathid soldier, now in charge of the library as a scholar, discussing disease classification as a polar bear man reads. Like this, just this scene makes me so happy. This is why I love this game. This right here is everything to me. This is good world in this light. I agree. Long story short, because it is a long story, we founded a fortress in an evil forest. We were there for a while. Reg was like single-handedly defending us for quite a while. But then we sent him on a mission to conquer the Goblin capital, and he succeeded. So he is now occupying that one Goblin capital. So that we have, this one's gone, this one's occupied by an adventurer of ours, and this one we're probably going to conquer with the polar bear people on our next adventure. So he's just still out there. The last time we saw him, which was maybe 20 plus years ago in game at this point, since we founded this fortress, last time we saw him, he had over 1,000 kills to his name, between notable and not notable. He also slaughtered an entire army of ogres by himself. That's true. That's true. So because he's an intelligent undead, a lot of things don't recognize him as being an enemy that otherwise would. So he basically walked into the Goblin Fortress in adventure mode. So we cleared it out in adventure mode and then came back to the fortress and then sent him out to occupy, and then he did that now that they were like, we thinned him out. But we literally just walked into this fortress and decapitated blind cave ogres one after the other until we got bored. Like literally hundreds of blind cave ogres. Just slicing them up. So that's his fortress now. He just lives there now. Okay, so that's that. That's what we've been up to. I do want water in here. So now the question. I need to introduce more water into here somehow, automatically. Quite a mythic character. I love him. Wrote a ditty about what blind cave ogres must be. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think of what else. That's the main deal. That's mostly what's happened in this world. I've been having fun turning them into videos on YouTube. Oh. Krar is throwing a tantrum possessed by Erpler. Oh, because I never made that. I never placed the slab. That ghost has caused 2 tantrums now. I kind of assumed that we would have buried that one. But clearly not. Unless we've just already, we just need more, we already need more. Oh dear, we've been going through our kobolds. Apparently. Or no, there's some here. Okay. So I think I just need to place those slabs. Slab. For near. And for Erpler. Okay. You toppled a bookcase. Oh, and then you're having a proper tantrum in the library here. Oh, you're breaking stuff. Oh, you broke a table. You asshole. And you injured Kazarl. We also have a tofu. Did you break a bookcase? Do I have more bookcases? I need to make another bookcase to replace that one. I do have another jet table. There's not just another bookcase sitting here? No, you destroyed a bookcase. How dare you? Unless someone grabbed it and took it somewhere. Jerk. Just do one. Do it out of jet. Am I out of jet? I might be out of jet. Dang ghosts. Someone needs to grab this this kobold. I'm doing well. Bleeding on a table. Okay, so how do we keep water in our little flip-flop system down there? That's like the last thing we need to do to make that fully automatic. Or fully hands-free. Hauling all the way down to the hospital. And then I guess the last little thing I would want to try is to see if we can actually get an ice construction down there. Literally just for the heck of it. There we go. Brought to rest. Neck is torn open, head is cut open, claw is mangled, floating rib is mangled, false rib is bruised, right foot is bruised. Wow. It's almost like you had a rock bookcase fall on you or something. Did I successfully make more soap? I think we made more soap. Yeah, I think that worked. Don't know why that's there. Someone's named hammer is just sitting on the ground there. And that's all fine. Okay. So this now has enough water that it's going, except it's already not going again here. Yeah, how do I... This is still filling. This is still working on filling. And now it is summer. I like puzzling through how to make weirdly complicated mechanisms work. That's really the motivation behind this whole project, is just a reason to do something different. I need to, like... I need to introduce water every once in a while. To Why Not Project, exactly. As with most things in this game, so what would I do? What would I do different? Maybe it would be better if it were vertical. I did this in this configuration. You gonna pump? You gonna pump? Why you no pump? Oh! It's trying. Because if I did it vertical, right? Like one pump on top of the other, then I could have each of these little pools be just one tile, in which case it would pump all of the water every time. That's really the thing, is because I can't have... This pump can't get all of the water out of here, so this is going to dry out, and then this is going to pump out, and it's going to leave two behind, and then that's going to dry out. So then we lose water over time. I do have some room in here. So basically what we would do, I'd have one pool here. Here's my green water. Has a button at the bottom. And then a pump goes out. And then the second pool is here. Right? And then my second pump goes here. And it just goes back in. Is that all it needs to be? Because that wouldn't be so bad. You just wouldn't be able to see it all at one time. Maybe that's the better way to do it. Of course, I want to keep them powered separately, but that means I just don't connect them. That just means I need to make sure that there's a floor between. Not like a Z level, but like a solid floor so they're not transferring power. And I just power them both from the side, like I am now. I guess. Petition! Besmar wishes to reside. Okay, who's that? A dwarf? Oh my gosh, we have a dwarf! I can now reside in sledge skewers. That was very satisfying. 108 years old. Are you from... You're from our second fortress, Artificial Shovels. Yeah, we've totally seen Besmar before. A dwarf? An entire dwarf. Legendary mechanic. Wow, interesting. Yeah, first memory from spring of 116. 60 years ago. 62 years ago. This dwarf has been rolling around. And then, yeah, so 116 has to be our first fortress, right? Pretty sure we at least spent that much time in the first fortress. So I think this was like a visitor in our first fortress. And then 120s, 130s is the second fortress. So this is like, yeah, freakish weather. We had blood rain in the second fortress. Learned to disdain stoicism. Freakish weather, yeah. So she lived in our... She lived in our second fortress for several years. To like 140. And then, yeah, 162 showed up here, has been a visitor a couple times, and is now a resident. Fantastic. Hi. Hello. I have a friend. She's been so starved of attention all day. There's so much mud down here. I was working on getting rid of the mud at one point. You can tell how well I've done. Erpler's been put to rest. Thank goodness. Still working on all that cloth. Okay, so... Oh, the humans are here. Excellent. Oh, and did this, okay, this changed over again. So that part worked at least. It kind of works. Do I just leave this alone? Do I keep fiddling with it? It's kind of neat. I do think it's kind of neat. I just think it's neat. Yeah, interesting. And then there it goes. See, like, I think that's cool. I like how that works. So basically, I don't want to mess with these again because that was a total pain in the butt. Because these all have to be like flipped from their starter state to connect to the buttons. So I'm not going to reconnect these to the buttons. I think I'm just going to move the pumps. So we're going to have... I mean, I guess I can use what we have here. I'm going to turn off my safeties. I'm going to turn off the water pump. Turn off the magma pump. So we'll stop pumping. And this will all just kind of go away, right? That's the beauty of it. There's someone praying to Odor, the god of death, down here at the bottom of the world, meditating on death. This is fine. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna make a quick stab at this this construction. Okay, I return. Diplomacy! The humans Want to talk. The only thing I've been doing with the humans is the nice meat. I got all the gems I care about. So that's gonna be all I ask for. And I suppose I should do a trade with them while they're here. I don't even know that I have... We've been making crafts, but I don't know that we have... Maybe we're fine. Maybe we're fine. So... I think, well, I mean, at the very least, these buttons need to be moved, right? So those, yeah. I think I can leave these mechanisms where they are, but I do need to move the buttons. Pretty sure? Pretty sure. But our reservoirs can stay. These just need to be closed. So we're gonna lose our water. But that's fine. But we're not pumping water anymore. But the magma's open too. Should the magma be open? Because I'm still filling this with water. That's what's going on. Let's stop that. Maybe let's do this. I'm gonna say these... Thank you, DF Hack, for allowing me to fiddle with these things after the fact. I'm gonna do that so that they're both not pressed. There they go. And then if we go down... Just want them all closed. Yep, they're all closed. That should be shallow enough that it'll start to cool down. So we can get down here to relink these, right? Because, yeah, these connect to the button. So I am going to have to reconnect those. But that is fine. So, deconstruct the button. I could maybe even leave one. I'm gonna leave the water one where it is. And I'm gonna have to move the pumps. Right? So I have a pump here, and I'm gonna want a pump here. Essentially, I want... This is where the pump itself is going to be. And then I'm going to want a floor here, and then, like, I'm going to wall this in. Is that going to work? Yes. You are not getting removed. Okay. So then, of course, I need to get the water out of here now. Now I need the water out of here. So that's fun. Let's just do this. I'm just gonna do this. And we'll build walls in there. So this is going to be my one button. My other button's going to be here. This pump is going to be here. So it needs a channel here and a channel here. And that's just going to be open. It's going to fall there. And then the power is going to come up through here. This one's going to be powered through here. Right? Is that... Right, because I was pumping from here to here. So that's gonna be the same. Because water release is connected to... Or no. It's the other way around. I want the magma buttons pump into the water release. So the other way around. So this one is like that. I think. Okay. Let all the water out. We're gonna do a bunch of microcline wall here. That can go there. Let the water flow out. Do you want one here? I want one here. I'm even gonna fill all of this in. Because the button's gonna be up on this level. So I want a pump. My pump is going to pump onto this button. Right? I have to head out. Okay, sounds good. I'll be wrapping up here at the top of the hour. But yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I usually stream right now. Mondays and Thursdays are for Dwarf Fortress, 2 to 5 Pacific. We've been doing Saturday streams that are just something else. Been recently playing the Talos Principle for the first time. Loving that. Combine a Saturday for that. But this time of day is when I'm streaming. Just not every day. Just some days. That's what I'm doing. But nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I'll see you around. I want to see the other way. I want to pump out of here. So this is like the lowest it's going to be, right? So I'm going to pump out of here. This can be made of anything. Sure, whatever. I'll use iron, whatever. So that button's going to be here. So I need to have walls around like this, right? Right? No, I'm not going to close it quite yet. We're going to put a button here. And that's going to pump out. And it's just going to dump on top of here. I think that's all it's got to be. So this is water release, which is going to connect to the magma buttons. So it needs to connect here. So I need another gear assembly just to make this work. Hilariously. That's fine. We have some power to spare. Not a ton, but some. I'm gonna do that. And then do like that. And then this gets mined out. Let's do like this. So this all tracks, right? Cool. Yeah, I would love for this to get done. Someone's working on it. Hi, Tofu. clan leader wants anvils. Fine. And king wants grates, but we have grates just on a recurring thing, so that's fine. There's that. So now I can put a button. Which is a trap. Water does trigger. This is going to be 3 and above. I want that high priority. Tofu is going to be destructive, as usual. Tofu. Whatever. Am I thinking about this correctly? At least we'll be able to see all of these on one level, right? That at least gives us some information. Okay, so I want all that. I want this done. Tofu. Do I have to kick you out right at the end? Tofu is a strange cat. Tofu wants attention, but she won't like come up here and sit in the lap or anything like that. So I'm petting her with my foot, and that seems to appease her. Kind of. Just lay down. Oh, silly creatures. Okay, so there's that. So now I want another gear assembly here. Oh, but it needs a machine first, so I need to do an axle like that. And then a gear assembly like this. Now I have to link this to 4 different things. Is this drying out? Yeah, okay. I've seen worse. I guess I still want my... Now that all my gates are closed, right? Do I risk that? Do I just have the pumps go? I guess there's already a risky amount of magma in here, right? So that doesn't actually add that much risk. So I'm going to turn on our pumps again, just so that they're filling up our reservoirs. So now this pressure plate, so this is water release, this is magma release. So now I need to link my 4 water buttons. Right, because my magma buttons are still linked to here. Is that right? Am I getting this the right way around? So magma button is going to pump no? I think I want that the other way around. I think I did it backwards again. The water release button is unpressed when the water buttons are pressed. Because when there's water, I want magma. When there's water, I want magma. Yeah, okay, so it's just connected to the wrong thing. So this is wrong. But I just do it the other way around. I guess I can leave that and just... yeah. Right? So if I have water, my water's being released, my water fills, I push my water buttons, I turn on this pump to then release the magma. Yeah. So this connects to here. And I do still want a pump here. This pump is going to pump this way. Oh, it is in the wrong spot. I'm just doing the whole thing wrong, aren't I? Right, so that's going to pump that way. So when the magma buttons are pressed, I want to remove the water from the magma release and put it onto the water release. So yeah, that is correct. So I want my channel to be here. And now I can put in a floor here to give myself access. Okay. Realistically, I should have like a wall here, right? Well, that really shouldn't matter. Okay, so magma release is going to be linked to the water buttons. Or no, it's going to be connected to the mag because it is doing the gates. This connects to the gates. These connect to the buttons. That's what I'm getting confused about. So the buttons are staying the way they are. It's these. Right, okay. Right. So I need to free. Probably just gonna end up in the magma. Free. And free. So then I guess the link happens from up here, right? You link. I want the target to be magma safe. The plate is fine. But this needs to be magma safe. So one goes there. One goes there. One goes there. One goes there. Could just turn these off. Can basically just disable them. That's kind of cool. So, those will all get linked. This will get built. I do want a gear assembly here, which means I need a axle to go there. A gear assembly here. That will get made, and then I want a wall here. I think that's gonna work. I think that will preserve our water. Of course, no one can get down there. Of course, no one can get down there. Whatever. Except I can disassemble this one. Gosh dang it. This is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I think that's just how we do it. Just look at how fine it is. It is so fine. You can see plainly how fine it is. You can tell by the tone of my voice that everything is fine. Oops, the humans left. Oops. Oh well. Oh no, our giraffe tripe. So they can access each of these, or actually all of our stairs have turned into obsidian, so we do need to get back in there. Hilariously. You're just hanging out, meditating on rivers. Praise rivers. Look, this is full. That's fantastic. That's also full. Love it. Yeah. Praise rivers. What would a praise rivers emote look like? I feel like that has been... I feel like we need to canonize that. Don't pause. Do now. Why'd you pause? Oh, probably because they can't access it. It should be fine now. Or almost. They can almost get out. So that's done. Working on that. We're getting there. Silly things. I might want a wall around this one as well. Do I just do... I mean, I might as well, right? Just to make sure water doesn't splash out. I don't think it would, but you know. Two kobold hands with a river coming down behind it. Yeah, I mean, can we get that much detail in an emote? I guess people are... Emote artists are good. We have a good emote artist. Makes sense we'd have a capital on a glacier, the source of a river. True. The holiest of rivers. Holiest of ice melt. They can still get in there, right? I don't think this blocks access. Okay. Okay, they should have access. Yep, there you are. Linking it up. Totally safe. Don't spend too much time down here, but it's totally safe. Don't suppose we could investigate that river when we sent out an adventurer? Potentially, if we can find it. It honestly looked like a... I don't even know if it registers. We'll have to see if we can find it. It looked really small. But we can look. Sweet. Okay. This is happening. I don't know why that's paused, but whatever. Someone's toga. Someone's superior toga is getting clogged in the pump stack. Better not be a body connected to it. It doesn't look like it. Seems like they just left their... Like, it's pretty worn out. As I can here. Just could tell that a better one existed somewhere and just, like, stripped it off and ran off. Okay. Might be able to get this done for a quick test. Now that I've already gone a little longer than I meant to. So you're good, you're good. Waiting on that one. So really just this one left. And then we need a way to fill it. Probably just gonna do from up here. And start with magma release? I guess it don't really matter which one starts. No, let's do it this way. Since this is gonna take a little bit longer, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna put a pond here. Say to fill it. This is set to not register anything. So we're just gonna get like all 7 water in there. Because that's going to take a moment. think this is it. I think that's all we do. My confidence is quite low. I say that, but actually my confidence is relatively high on this one. We still have some... I think some of these are magma safe. There's orthoclase, there's bauxite, those are fine. Hey look, our new parent is praying to Odor with 3 babies on her back. On his back. 7 children? Whoa. And they're all here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've had 7 children in this fortress. Our caravan tactician has 7 children in this fortress. 2 of them are miners, 2 of them are siege operators. Wow. And you look at all these friends you have. Wow. This is a social kobold. A social bold. Of course, it's going to take so long to bring water down here one at a time. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't dry out. Family operated fortress? Yes, it is. Absolutely. You're bringing the second component, so really we have one more component here, we have one more link here, we have filling our pond, and then I think we're good. Could be a problem long term. That's really long term though. I mean, we get enough migrants. Enough people die here that we keep getting new blood. So I guess that wouldn't be that big of a deal. What does Silly Fortress? So I could probably get rid of... I couldn't get rid of that one. Just realized I have to facilitate a meeting at 9 a.m. No! Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. It is so tempting to make nitpicky changes to this, but it is so not worth it. He had another strange mood. It is so not worth getting that picky about. Mostly just want to make sure that we get some water in here. Look how productive our fortress is, though. Like, I'm just down here fiddling around with a silly thing, and everyone else is, like, making things happen. I'm really happy with how this fortress works. Made it through tutorial, dig some holes, IDK, what else I'm supposed to do? Well, it's kind of up to you. Do you want to survive? Starving unit. Oh, you? Just, yeah, we'll eat you. It's fine. The way that I explain kind of the broad things that you should be thinking about in an early fortress. Okay, we have 2 water there, so that's good. It's very good. Is to think about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And JM has heard me talk about this, and can kind of attest to it. But really just thinking about the most critical things that your dwarves need, right? Booze is really important. Like water is important, right, for survival, but booze is like basically as important. Because if they only have water and no booze for an extended period of time, you will have problems. You will have mood problems. So getting booze going real quick is important. Food, yep. Made some beds and stuff for my dwarves. Booze, food, water, entertainment. Yep, exactly. Booze, food, water. Water is important, mostly for A, if booze runs out, and B, for the hospital. For cleaning wounds and stuff. You want to make sure that your water is deep enough so that your bucket isn't like, you want more than one depth of water. So you're not getting mud in your well water or in your bucket, if that makes sense. Have some stagnant water near me. That is generally fine as long as it's deep enough. If it's just like a muddy pool, you don't want your hospital using muddy water for washing wounds. Got 7s. It needs to be more than one Z level. 7 means that it's like 1 Z level full. You want like two floors worth. Because if there's only 1 floor's worth of water, then you're gonna get muddy water. I think. Oh, is this done? Beds are good. Dwarves are okay living in a dormitory for a while, but you want to give them their own individual bedrooms and then throw some furniture in there. Like the typical thing is to do a bed, a chest, and a cabinet. And that'll make most dwarves quite satisfied with their room. And give them a place to put all their stuff. Getting a tavern pretty early is nice because then you can start getting visitors. Like bards and stuff can start showing up, whether or not you want that. Trade goods, you'll get your trade caravan pretty early. Like as normal dwarves embarking at a normal time of year, you will embark in spring, and then you'll get your first dwarven caravan that fall. And then you won't get anything until like the earliest you'll get something else is elves in the next spring. So you kind of want to have, so 1 is like deep. So 1 is less water. So like here, right? This is a full level of water, but it's only 1 level. Whereas if we go down to the magma here, this is the magma sea. If I can find, it's kind of hard to tell because it's all full, but like this is the top of it, and if I go down 1, there's more, and down there's more, and down there's more. So each level can go up to 7 units of water. Have crafts set up. Yeah, that's where I was going. Getting some crafts going early so that you can make a trade with the dwarves, so you can get some stuff. That's generally pretty good. And then like safety, getting like metal smelting stuff going so that you can start making armor and weapons, and get a squad going so then you can start training, so that when you start getting like early incursions of goblins, you have someone who can deal with them, because getting caught out early by goblins is definitely a thing. Okay, is this ready to go? So make weapons and train, yeah. And you could even start with like leather. You can maybe trade for some leather. Or if you have animals, you can start breeding some animals. If you have, like, that takes a little bit while to get like a large population of animals, like cows or something, or horses. But once you can start slaughtering a bunch of animals, you can start making leather. You can start making leather armor, which is nice starting armor. Long term, you'll want metal armor, but for those first couple years or so, you can probably go with leather stuff. I'm gonna let this go up to 5, I think. And there we go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna remove this pond. Going to build this wall, as superfluous as that is. So now you are linked to magma gates. You are linked to water gates. This is linked to water buttons. So when there is water, we will activate the magma. This is linked to magma. So when we have magma, we will activate the water. I think we can just try and activate this. Night night JM, have a good one. Good luck with your meeting. Yeah, have a good rest of your week. I'll see you Thursday. I think it's always so nerve-wracking. I'm going to say, just as a quick test, water activation is on. This is going to activate with like 3 water, maybe 2. Let's say 2 water. Let's say 3 water. Same thing here, activates with 3 water. So now when I unpause, that will release the water. That pushed the button. And now the water releases. Okay. The water releases. And then that's going to go up to a depth of 3. Or no, the water goes to 4. That's right. I just want to watch this happen. I just want to watch it. It's filling quite fast. When we have those reservoirs full, that definitely does go pretty quick. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3. So let's watch up here. So these are like connecting, right? Nothing has happened yet. Just waiting for this last one to connect. There we go. And now it is pumped. It has pumped all of the water instantaneously. Excellent. So now the water gates should close and the magma gates should open. Yes. Water gates close. Water gates close. Magma gates open. Look at that. And now we're gonna get steam. Hooray. Amusing to me and no one else, but we are making steam. That seems to work out. Okay. Just evaporates all the water. Makes it quite warm in here. And slowly fill up with magma. So you can see so this is our reservoir up here. You can see the magma is draining out, so it's slowly going down from 7s to 5s and 6s. So that's like we're staying within this one Z level, but we're slowly draining out the magma. Here we go. And then now 1, 2, 3, 4. So now all of these should be active, right? So now this has pumped, it pumped all the water, and now the water's back here. And there's still 5 units there. And now it should switch again. Now here comes the water, and then those close. It works! The system works! The system is silly and accomplishes nothing, but it works. And yeah, the water is gonna stay back here. That is so interesting. So we could probably do with even less magma, honestly, right? Like we let the water build up to like chest deep, essentially. And then the magma comes in and does just enough to put like a layer of magma on the ground. And then the water comes back in. So maybe these trigger on, maybe the magma buttons trigger on too. Oh, that's water button. And the water goes on 4, yeah. And then now it starts coming out here, okay. Yeah. Perfect. I think I'm satisfied. Does the process cause layering of new stone, or is it all evaporated? So because we're at the bottom of the world, under normal circumstances, this would all fill in with obsidian. Or rather, like, the entrance here would clog with obsidian and then nothing would happen. The fact that we're down here on the bottom of the world, building on these magma flow tiles, like this is much different from this. Like, this is normal stone. This is the top of semi-molten rock that you can't dig through. So this is like when you hit the bottom of Minecraft and you hit bedrock and you just can't go any further. That's what this is. So because it's magical bottom of the world rock, obsidian does not form on top of it. So we're basically exploiting that. We're exploiting the fact that obsidian cannot form on these tiles. To continually combine them to get the steam without getting the obsidian. So here it's probably going to switch here in a second, right? Dig any further and it starts digging away at your implements. Well, I mean, we couldn't. Like these, like the semi-molten rock, you just can't. Like if I can't even designate. Like I can't even tell them to try. Or like channeling down from here. Like you just can't. And there goes the magma. Okay. It works. It just works. I think I've learned enough about flip-flops and things, right? And we still have 5 water, so this should not evaporate. We should not lose any water in this process. There it goes, and it just switches. Perfect. I like that a lot better. Perfect. This is a good construction. This is just a good flip-flop. If you ever have a machine that needs to always be in one or the other state, this is what you would do. And then you get, you know, however you connect the power to input and however you connect the output is dependent on whatever you're doing. But anytime you need one of 2 options at all times, you could even do, you could do more? You could do more. You could do 4. So if you had like, put a name on a spear. Okay, sounds good. If you had something like this, at 4 pumps, and then this is they would be in a spiral essentially. And then you have your water in the corners. And then you just you'd pump from one to the other. So you always have to be sequential, right? Like if you had four things that you wanted to happen and they always happened in one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could do it like that. And you just have it be like 4 levels high. If that makes any sense. Zag the Tanner has created Sasserso, a giant polar bear leather quiver. Excellent. Hooray. Let's go place that, and then I think we're done. I think we finished. Oh, that's a Warhammer, isn't it? On Shamlaslop. Forgot about that one. You have a thing. You all have things. You all have things. Okay, so now we're going back down at the bottom. If you ever need to walk on the beach in open-toed shoes, this is the machine. Exactly. Exactly. It can solve all your problems. So I want polar bear leather quiver. Perfect. Cool. I'm satisfied. We did a thing. Now we just have to wait for the king to die. Have to. I want to wait for the king to die. Okay. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed this. I hope you did as well. I hope watching me fiddle with very silly things is enjoyable. Because that's all I do here. As you do. Come by on Thursday, same time. We're going to continue from right here. Maybe the king will die. Maybe we'll find more things to do. I don't know. Adventure mode soon. Adventure mode soon. I'm itching for that, I think. Come by on Saturday for more Talos Principle. That is also going very good. I'm enjoying that one. And then, yeah, we're just going to continue on forever. Today's episode is brought to you by My Last Brain Cell. Pictured here. And by viewers like you. Clicking on all the buttons down there, hanging out with us live, hanging out in VODs, hanging out in Discord, wherever you want to hang out. There's brain cells somewhere, probably on the floor. They're not in here. They're not up here. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. And I hope you stay kind.